Hey everybody, how are you? Look at me right on time to the minute. Oh goodness. I'm Lisa, and this is Crimes and Fashion, along with fashionistas, felons, and Fruit Loops, where we talk about some very bad, ignorant ass, poorly dressed people while being dressed to kill. Y'all, I have this my mouth is just agape for you stupid people out there like Dolly and Betty. That means open. Um, my mouth is literally agape because before I hit the go live button, I was listening to Constance Chainsaw Sue has something to say, and she was playing a replay of some of the insanity. I mean, that doesn't sufficiently cover it, but hey, K-Notch, how you doing? But that's what it was. I mean, insanity in front of the home of Quentin Simmons. I'll get to that in a minute. I didn't plan on talking about that either, but I'm literally so floored by what I've been listening to for the last 30 minutes in my office. Wow. I guess the only mercy in that, because I was listening to it on my computer monitor rather than out in front of my TV. Hey, Coco, how you doing? Oh yeah, girl, I'm there, Coco. I'm counting. I'm counting. I remember back in the day. Hey, Cericia. I remember back in the day, I had this friend, and her mom worked like in this kind of high pressure job, and she would say, I got to take my elevator to the 10th floor and then take it down to the lobby. And it was hilarious. And she literally would like take a deep breath. Unlike a lot of these fuck nuts, my elevator definitely goes to the top floor. And it's a much higher floor than theirs. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Well, I'm going to save that for a few minutes. Okay, so you know what I thought I'd do today? I used to do this back in the day. I haven't done it much lately, but y'all, I did a new eye look today. I wish colors came across like they really look. I know they don't, but I've got on this amazing eye look from Huda. I usually use Pat McGrath, but I decided, you guys, honestly, like I said yesterday, there is a support group out there for me, Cosmeticsaholics. I have so much makeup, I forget about it. And I happened to open one of those, I have those stackable things, and I opened a drawer and I found 4 Huda beauty palettes, just, the little square ones. I love them. And it was, I brought them with me. So, I'm not a rich bitch like Manatee Molly. I can't afford all those nice cosmetics, but I scrape by where I can. So I thought, for all of us, just schlubs out here, just trying to, live up to the standard of beauty that Molly sets for us, I thought I'd come in here and, just share what I'm wearing because, hey, I always like to I love to hear about beauty products. I don't watch the makeup community anymore on YouTube. That's how I started here, is watching that. Jeffree Star, I love you. But possibly the only other community that is even nearly as toxic as this sewage dump we're all hanging out in, called the true crime community, or the true criminal community, as I have dubbed it. Hey, Alabama, how you doing? Catherine, how are you? Tattoos and Unicorns. Thanks for coming over. So yeah, let's see. What am I wearing? Hey, Texas Tiffany. Oh, well, first I thought spring has sprung, at least in Florida. I'm sorry if you live someplace where it's horrible and cold and still winter, but in Florida, oh, it's spring. And one of my favorite perfumes in the world. I love this line. I don't love every single perfume they make, thank God, because I have enough bad habits. But Bond number 9, Saks Fifth Avenue scent. If you like gardenia, you guys, this Gucci Bloom is very close, and the price is much more palatable of the Gucci. But this, you spray a couple sprays of this on, it will last all day. And if you're single, ladies, this is like some kind of a man magnet. Like, I've never worn this or Tom Ford Velvet Orchid and not had some man like in a store say, oh, what is that perfume you're wearing? So, there is that. So yes, gardenia, but like gorgeous gardenia, not old lady gardenia. Okay. So, show and tell. On my eyes today, I used Huda Pastels Lilac along with Huda Amethyst Obsessions. I'm rocking a whole purple look today, and I actually have green eyes, very green eyes, my real green eyes. I don't wear colored contacts. And anybody who's got green eyes, purple makes green eyes pop. I'm sure you can't really tell on the monitor, but you'll have to take my word for it. Because I think I've already established that I don't have any problem talking about fake things or, maybe parts that I wasn't born with. Okay. But that's just me. I don't tell other people they should do that. But listen up, y'all, in case you haven't gotten the memo. Here on YouTube, the price of admission for having a YouTube channel, unbeknownst to me when I started, but clearly know now. Well, it's your personal life. These mentally ill nut jobs who run around this place acting like terrorists, like they own the world. Yeah, it's apparently that's what you have to do. You have to disclose your first and last name, your social security number, where you live, everything you've done in your life. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. So that's my eyes, and then on my liner in a lovely coordinating shade of very dark purple is Chanel Stilo. God, they put this shit in French. Rouge Noir Ombre something. It looks like that. It's one of the big fat pencils, not the skinny ones. I used to buy the skinny ones. They have great colors, but they suck and they break. They're too thin. The bigger ones last much longer. On my face, I told y'all I do not wear, I don't wear foundation. I spray tan my face and every morning I use this. This is hard to get. They don't make it anymore, but you can find it on Amazon. Ulta carries it. Of course, they're going to jack you on the price, but I don't care because I love this product. Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is just like a gorgeous lavender. They call it a primer. I use it as moisturizer, but it gives this like really pretty glow, very subtle. And because I'm very bougie and extra and over the top, I need more than just a subtle glow. So after that, I take another cult favorite, which is NARS Hot Sand Illuminator. This I just put all over my face, and it makes this lovely glow. Hey, Christina, how you doing? Okay, and then cheeks with Fenty Kilowatt What a Brat highlighter so that I'm highlighted to the gods. And yes, those cheekbones are mine, I promise. And then, oh, I love Fenty Beauty matchsticks for right there, like in the hollow. And then, if you're not a big fat manatee, you probably have visible collarbones. So I like to highlight those too. And then I usually hit, the cleavage and up here with whatever's left on the brush from this. And then lips. And on my lips today, believe it or not, every day I wear at least 2 colors layered. Today I have 4. I couldn't make up my mind. So I just kept adding. So let's see. I started with Pat McGrath gloss. It's too small. I can't see it. And then I didn't think that was quite enough. So I did the Huda lip strobe. This is like my go-to color, this very Aurora Borealis. But today, because of the eyes being so heavy, I thought, you know what? I need more of a lip pop. So I'm a huge fan of MAC. I used to buy nothing but MAC. This is, the hell is this called? Lavender Jade. You can tell this is old because this is like the old school bullet. And then some kind of AB gloss that goes over that. This came out of one of those stupid Ipsy things. Okay, and that's it, kids. That's what I have on. So please and thank you. I hope you enjoyed show and tell today. We're going to have more show and tell soon. Not about makeup. Okay. So now that we got that done, and if you guys hate that and think it's stupid and don't want to see it, well, just tell me. Listen, bitch, we don't care what you're wearing on your face. And we don't care what kind of perfume you're wearing. And I will adjust show schedule accordingly. Okay. I figure, y'all, I'm going to ease us into this because I definitely, like Coco, I'm feeling some type of way about what I just heard. I have never seen a place with so many mean AF, uneducated, white trash dirtbags in all my life. And I mean that. There's also lots of great people on here. I love going in the chats. I love talking to you guys here. I really try to make this not just a bougie bunker, but a bastion of sanity, let's just say. Because it seems like there's a lot of people on here who, number one, don't own mirrors. Number two, while they maintain English is their first language, I don't know, they don't sound like it. That could have something to do with the fact that they probably only have a 6th grade education, and it shows. Of course, that's more for Dolly Vision based on what I was just listening to. Dude, listen, you may be YouTube famous. You are trash. You are gutter trash, okay? What? I wish I could make it more. I will, don't worry. More adjectives will come to me. I promise. Hey Mouse, how you doing? I love going in the chats. I love all you guys. Oh, K-Mash, I don't watch what any of those idiots do. I truly do not. I don't care. When they're in my league, then they can come play with me. I do not. It's bad enough that you have to get exposed to them via other places you go, and and thank God for the saints like Heels in the Air, Couch Clips, Tragedy Pimps Exposed, Hugh Janus. Can't believe I just said that. Mouse has a clip channel. Hey, Saucy56. Well, I took a little sabbatical, but I'm back. I know I'm missing somebody, and it's somebody I listen to all the time. Who is one of the other big clip channels? When I remember, I will mention them. Y'all know who they are, though. Yeah, doing God's work. Doing the work that the rest of us don't want to do. I feel like I literally lose IQ points when exposed to these people for any length of time. Thank God I have some to lose. So we're getting to him. But first, let me tell you the original reason I came in here. Because I know how these people roll, okay? I know what they do. I know their playbook because they are not smart. A lot of these people have the platforms that they have because they are willing to humiliate, degrade, debase themselves, and do things that normal people won't do for attention. I don't need attention that bad. I said yesterday, I look at this as it's a sport, kind of. It's my hobby. My entire YouTube career, meaning the last time I was here before I blew that channel up and exited the building, I think I made $24.52. You know, and I think that might have something to do with the fact that even though I was monetized, believe it or not, I think that most people probably looked at me and thought, you know, I don't think she needs my money, so I'm not going to give it to her. And they would be right. I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I don't have a problem with anybody who is making money on YouTube. It's a lot of work. All I'm saying is, I think many of these people have gotten to where they are, not because they're so very bright and well-spoken and or very attractive and or very nice people. No, I think that many of them have gotten where they are because everybody loves a train wreck. Everybody loves to watch some dumbass who will say and do things that normal people won't say and do because they're not into humiliating themselves. I don't care what any of these people tell you to the contrary. They are all, in my pretend YouTube doctor opinion, they are all wildly insecure and riddled with issues. And they have gotten this little taste of, I'm not going to say power, because that's giving them more credit than they deserve. They have no power. Because they are probably, for some of them, like, I don't know, Dolly, ugly AF. Okay, dude, you're ugly. Sit down. Shut the hell up. You're stupid and you're ugly. Next. And, you know, a lot of what makes you ugly, besides your unfortunate genetic gene pool, well, that would be your mouth and how you act. Because anybody who's lived a little while and isn't completely and utterly delusional knows that, especially women know this. I can't tell you how many times in my life this has happened, that I have met someone, be it a man or a woman, and, you know, really they weren't anybody that, what's the old saying, like, I wouldn't look twice at them on the street. But the more you get to know someone and you get to see what's here and here, which is what really matters. Some of us are just blessed with nicer wrapping paper than others. But people become more attractive when you see what's under the outside of the package. That's how that works. In your case, I think it's worked the opposite way. I don't know what stupid woman would date you. I don't, but there's an, as my husband likes to say, there's an ass for every seat. And apparently there's a few. So with him and his former girlfriend or whatever she was, I won't use the disgusting way that he speaks to women. I'm not going to use, I won't even say that about Betty. I'll call her what she is, but I'm not going to, you know, I won't speak like he does about women, not even her. So these kinds of people, Tragedy Pimp Inc., and all the board of directors, and you guys, I need one more sub on Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops so I can get the community wall. Once I get the community wall, we're voting the board of directors in, okay? So I think that it is not unreasonable to assert that these people who have no natural qualities that would draw anyone to them. I mean, roll up to any Dollar General. Sorry, Dollar General, I don't mean to insult your store. Or Walmart. And guess what? They are the people of Walmart, okay? It's very simple. But for whatever reason, they have found a little niche where people, at least they think, their subs actually give a shit about what they have to say. They've never had this before in their life, okay? Do you think anyone has met one of them out somewhere and thought, walked away from a conversation with them and said, wow, damn, I'm glad I came in here today? I doubt it. But, you know, another thing these people like to do is they like to try and use their sub count, their numbers, as like, well, I'm better than you. I got more subs than you. Oh, you're nobody. Ooh, nobody cares what you say. Congratulations. That's great. You win. Yes. Seems to me that, there's a lot of people on here who are big old fat ass losers in real life, but they're winning on YouTube. Yay, good for you. I love it. Wonderful. I've said 100 times, there's nobody and nothing on here that will impact my real life at all. I do not care how many subs you have. That does not translate to your IQ. It's too bad your IQ isn't more in line, that number, with how many subs you have. No, it's not. You have found a way to curate some sheeple who, for whatever reason, want to listen to them. Listen, I'm not saying that these people are 100% bad and have absolutely zero redeeming qualities. I mean, I don't believe that's the case. I'm not going to insult everyone that subs to these people because they, I'm sure, have some commonalities, as I'm sure I probably do, hard as that is to believe, with them. I mean, besides the fact that supposedly we're all human. But this place just seems to be It's like all the ugly, stupid, mean people have found a way to weaponize all those terrible traits and to get an audience. And here's, in my opinion, this is what makes them like that piece of trash, Dolly Vision, that I was just listening to, speak to a woman like I wouldn't speak to if I sat down and was interviewing a female serial killer, unless she killed my family member, and I don't know, probably even then, I would never speak to a woman. I wouldn't talk to Betty that way. I wouldn't talk to Manatee Molly that way. I wouldn't talk to PayPal Mal that way. But I guess that's because, I used to think that I gave him mad props a few times, more than a few times probably, about his little Turtle Island game. But, the more I sat back and thought about it, he just ripped that off from NBC or CBS, whoever had Survivor. I mean, I will give him props for being the one to bring it to YouTube in his own version, but I think I gave him more credit than he deserved. And that was also before I knew what a horrible person he is. And that asshole wanted to lecture me about, it's not even worth getting into, but he likes my shoes. I bet you do. They cost more than the fucking lot rent on your trailer. And I don't have to grift on YouTube to get them. Do you like these, Dolly? I forgot to mention what these were. These are Brian Atwood. Yeah, he wanted to, he thought he'd lecture me on being a nice person. Except here's the difference. I may be not nice to you guys, but I only pick on, and I don't consider it picking on. I consider it holding a mirror up to you, you shitty, nasty, hateful, cruel, ugly, dumbass people. Okay? Find me somebody I've ever drugged that didn't deserve it. You deserve me and every other person on here who doesn't agree with the things you do and the way you speak to women. Dude, I promise you, I don't give a damn how many women you said you've slept with. I mean, for all I know, you use your EBT card to buy them. I don't know. Don't care. I don't care what you're working with, we'll just say. I think I said before, you're the mayor of the Lollipop Guild in The Wizard of Oz. If you were the last man, here, we'll rip off another. I'll rip off a title. If you were the last man standing. No. So listen, I can't solve all the world's problems. I can't answer all the world's questions. I don't know why. More than, maybe a handful of women have thought you were worthy of spending time with. I don't know. But I am here to disavow you of this notion you have that you are some kind of rock star. Dude, you're a loser. You are a loser. Okay? Congratulations. You win on YouTube. Oh, and let me save y'all the trouble. Hold on. Damn it. There you go. That's my phone number that I just put in the chat. And I'm gonna tell you a little story here in just a minute. So you guys won't dox me. I'll do it myself. And because I know this is how you people play. And there is one thing that I'm sure they'll be salivating over. But it's a big fat nothing. So I'm going to save the trouble and we're going to have story time, but not yet. I'm not done reading and dragging you all for filth. Okay, but I promise it's on my list. So I'm not going to go so far as to put my address in the chat. You'll have to work if you want that. And hey, you know, if you call me ahead of time and tell me that you're coming over, or you want to send some of your posse over, well, I was going to say I'll make hors d'oeuvres, but I mean, putting a jet puff marshmallow on a stick and throwing it out the door so you can, chase it down in the yard. And I could roll a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon or Old Milwaukee, whatever kind of rot gut you probably drank. Yeah, sorry, I don't smoke weed. I don't drink Old Milwaukee either, but I mean, I could buy you a beer. I can get some to keep on hand in case you want to come and see me. I'm not going to get you any weed because I just don't do that, and I'm sure you're fine in that department. Wanda Wonders. Hi. Oh, I like that name. Betty's FF. What's a FWB? You're dissing Betty's FWB. Something boyfriend? FWB? Future something boyfriend? Hey, Cece, how you doing? Okay. I'm just looking at the chat real quick here. Oh, Catherine, he was against what Molly and Betty did. My ass, he was. Listen, all these people. I was texting a friend this morning. And after Betty's little performance, okay, you tell me, how effing dumb do you have to be? Like, I'm telling you, this pair of glasses right here is smarter than she is. Because a woman with a record like hers, who, not for nothing, Bets, listen, I don't know if you're watching what I'm saying about you and it's getting you real heated. I don't know what it is, but honey, you spend a whole lot of time, just like the rest of these people, being very not bothered, I'm not bothered. You spend a lot of time being not bothered by things people say about you on here. I do not give a damn what you say about me, because you are all irrelevant. I am proud to say you are content. I am exploiting you and your foul, gross deeds and your names that are dirt. I'm exploiting them to grow my channel. I love it. I call it the YouTube circular economy. So Brenda, I mean, word on the street is, I think there's just some people who they don't like what I'm saying. I don't give a shit. I don't like things they say. And the difference between me and them is I keep my thoughts and deeds confined to this monitor here on YouTube. I don't. But see, here's what makes me a little different from some of the people they're used to playing with. I work for myself. You can't get me fired. You can't get my husband fired. I own my home. I don't have a landlord. I've already told my family, expect some weirdos to call, but that's all you're going to be able to do, because you can't just roll up to my family's house. And I work for myself. You're not going to cost me my job. I don't have little kids. And, I think the way I put it yesterday was I think I said a bird of a different color, but I think what I should have said is a bird of a different feather. Take that any way you want. So I thought, I will dox myself before I let them do it. And trust me, I've built this way up. It's nothing. Well, here we are. So we're just going to do it. The one and only thing that you will find on me, I am now almost 53 years old. When I was 18 years old, and y'all, I'm hand to God, I shouldn't even admit this because it's embarrassing. I had to get my calculator out on my phone. And I had to subtract 53 minus 18. Okay, it's 35 years, kids. Did you know that I'm a white collar criminal? Oh, yes. No, I haven't strangled anybody. I don't have any drug charges. But here's what I do have. I'm a proud former white-collar criminal. And do you know how much money I got from my white-collar crime? Guess. Put it in the chat. When I say white-collar criminal, it was a financial crime. So tell me in the chat how much you think what was the total value of which actually is going to say more about me than. Oh, Mouse, you're close. Care to guess again? Okay, kids, story time. And I promise you, you can do a friggin' FBI check. This is the one and only thing. Besides, I did see some parking ticket. My God, apparently I got a lot of damn speeding tickets. Honestly. Oh, you guys are close. You're close but no cigar. Well, Catherine, that's why I'm going to do it myself because I ain't giving them that. All right, so 35 years ago, when I was 18 years old, I was newly out of my parents' house. I was very lucky. My parents, I was kind of wild when I was young. And I think that my mom and dad were so happy to see their newly adulted daughter fly the nest. So, being the lovely, kind parents that they were, they set me up in my first apartment. And I'm talking everything. My mom bought me everything from the forks that I ate with to the bed that I slept in and the sheets and the towels and blah. Literally, I was 18 years old, going to school, not full time. And I made a friend not long after I had moved into my place. And listen, hopefully, I'm sure many of you can remember your first adulting experience. So, I've said before that oftentimes some of the most fun kids to hang out with are the naughty ones. At least that was my thoughts. I had a lot of nice friends, but it kind of like the tragedy pimps. It's why I see that shit for what it is, because it oftentimes is when you're young, not when you're whole grown ass adults like them. Hopefully you learn better by their age. So yes, I made this friend. I hadn't known her that long. She was, let's just say she didn't grow up like I did. Um, and she was a hot mess. She really was. But she was fun. And so I was going to college, taking a couple classes. I wasn't going full time. I had a little part-time job. I could tell you some funny shit about that, but I won't. Um, and believe it or not, this friend and I, well, she basically pretty much moved into my place because she was living at the time with a family member, not her parents. She was 1 year younger than me, I think. She was not 18. I think she was 17. At any rate, believe it or not, I'd get my paycheck and it would be gone. Like, I don't know, 2 days later. Listen, I was used to living a certain type of lifestyle that I apparently felt I was y'all, I didn't get it. Okay. I didn't get it. I will be the first one to tell you I didn't know shit about Shinola. Nothing. So, no money. She doesn't work. I don't have any money left. I'm sure I'd already asked my mom repeatedly, Mom, can you send me? Well, back in those days, listen, there weren't even ATMs back then. And you're getting ready to find out how I know that. So as our two broke asses sitting around trying to figure out, I mean, we were going out, don't get me wrong. Where I grew up, we went to the beach. That's what we did. But, you got to have gas. You got to have cigarettes. I'm sure back then, oh God, what did we drink? Fucking Bartles and James wine coolers. Swear to God. So, we needed some money. And she said to me, oh, you know what we'll do? We'll just go over to my relative's house. I'm not going to say who the relative was. We'll go over to my relative's house. His checkbook's there. I do this all the time. We'll just get a check and we'll go cash it at the grocery store. And my dumb ass, I'm like, oh, okay. Now, I absolutely knew that that was not the right thing to do. However, what I didn't know was that, well, wait, before we get there. So here we go over to the relative's house, and it's very close to my house, 10 minutes away, my apartment I'm living in, and nobody's home. But, she's got the key, so it's not, obviously she's able to get in there because I didn't know. I had no idea any of her family. I just knew her. So we go in, and there's like a hutch in the dining room, and she opens a drawer and takes out an old school box that checks come in. And she takes a pack of checks out. Ding, 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 ding. That probably should have been my first warning. The antennas should have gone up. You guys, if you want to do an Orange is the New Black Lisa prison episode, I didn't go to prison. Y'all, I could tell you shit that you would be dying laughing, okay? Okay, so out comes the box with the checks, and she very conveniently says to me, she hands me the pack of checks and says, oh, I don't have my ID, so just write the check out to yourself and we'll go to the grocery store up the street and cash it. I do it all the time. Okay. And I knew that you could do that because I used to go to the store with my mom. And back then, I don't know if there were no ATMs yet. If there were ATM machines, and I don't think they were not like they are now. So that's kind of what you did. If you needed money during non-banking hours, or when you're 18 and have blown through your paycheck, your minimum wage paycheck, no less. So that's what I did. I took the checkbook and I wrote it out to Lisa for, wait for it, $100. Yes, one Benjamin I wrote the check for. And we ripped it out of the book, got in my car, because, oh yeah, she didn't have a car either. And, you know, that because we were so young and she didn't come from the kind of background I did, it wasn't the least bit odd to me that she didn't have a car. Not everybody got a car when they were friggin' 16. So off we go to the grocery store, which is a chain that I still shop at to this day. Hey, Publix, don't worry about it. It's okay. I don't blame you. So, cash the check, $100. Off we go. Well, she and I had a parting of the ways about, I don't know, a couple of months later. This was not a long friendship, and I've really never spoken to her after this happened. So I want to say it was maybe 4 to 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. I don't know. All I know is I'm at home in my apartment. Phone rings. No cell phones back then. And it's my mom. And she says, I need you to come home. We need to talk to you about something. Oh, and I'm like, huh? What the hell? Because, I mean, I haven't done anything that, and like I said, y'all, when I wrote that check, I knew that that was not right, okay? What I did not know is that that's called forgery. I truly thought in my mind, well, I know this isn't right, but we're going to put the money back. Like, we'll give her family member the money. And I really thought that the worst thing that could happen was that I'd have to come up with $100. Hold on, I got to fix my blinds. Cericia, are you a white-collar criminal as well? Well, God, if you're going to be a criminal, better to be a white-collar criminal than just a straight-up friggin' gross scumbag, women assaulting, drunk driving, Okay, so I get to my mom and dad's. And every time I was going to get in trouble when I was a kid, my parents would sit in the formal living room where nobody ever went except for holidays and company. Like when you walked in the front door, it was right to the left. And there they were. And I was like, ooh, formal living room. This must be serious. So, one of them, I don't know if it was my mom or my dad, they both obviously spoke to me about this. And they said, honey, well, we had a phone call from a detective today, and apparently your friend, insert name, her grandmother got her back in this time, kids, when your statement from the bank every month, you got back the canceled checks. Okay. So grandma got her bank. Oh shit. Well, I just said who it was. Okay. So grandma gets her bank statement and finds a canceled check made out to yours truly. And she doesn't know who I am. So she does what, I never spoke to her, so I'm not sure how it went down on her end. All I know is where it eventually ended up was the local, and it was a very small town, the local teeny weeny tiny town, their detective, because apparently grandma, I think the way it went down was grandma saw the endorsement on the back of where it was cashed. She probably called there first, and I'm sure they said, well, ma'am, you're going to need to call the police, which she did. So my parents, who, by the way, neither one of my parents, who are in their mid to late 70s, both of them, neither one of them have ever, ever, ever had any kind of brush with law enforcement, possibly a speeding ticket, much like myself, but no, no one's ever been arrested. There's no DUI. There's nothing. Okay. So we're all kind of like, working from the blind spot here. None of us know what the hell. I'm still sitting there going, that stupid bitch. I'm pissed because her granddaughter, who was my friend, I'm pissed because she's not like, oh, wait a minute, grandma, we didn't. No, I told her to do that. And very conveniently, she was not 18. So my dad tells me how this went down and how we need to proceed forward. And because my family has never had any interaction with law enforcement, they did what all people who are law-abiding people do, whose daughter has just committed a white-collar crime of forgery. They decide that, well, hell, the detective who called my dad said, excuse me, we're trying to track down Lisa, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's my daughter. And he says, I need to speak with your daughter. And of course, my parents would have said, about what? Well, I don't know how much information they gave my parents. So, like all law-abiding people who've had no interaction with law enforcement, they say, honey, we need to get in the car and you need to go and talk to this detective. Sans attorney. And my parents maintain that they had no idea how this was going to go down. And had they known how it was going to go down, it would not have happened the way it did. But they didn't know. And I mean, honestly, we all laugh about it now. Hell, I'm on here telling the whole world about it, and I'm laughing because it's pretty damn funny how it all went down. And ignorance is no excuse of the law. And I don't have to go to Bullhorn Betty's, very respected legal institution to know that principle. Ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it. So here we go. We get in the car. I leave my car there. And I think just my dad went. Yes, just my dad drove me there. My mom stayed home. So Mike Stevens. Hi. Do y'all know Mike, my internet husband? This is my YouTube husband, Mike. Well, Mike, I don't know if you've been here for story time, but I'm a white collar criminal and I've been known to forge a check or two in my day. So maybe I can help her out. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. We get down to we get to the police department, which is just a little bigger than this room, very small. And my dad waits out in the lobby because what we all believe is going to happen is little old Lisa, who, by the way, you guys, well, no, wait, I'm going to save that for towards the end of the story. I swear I'm almost done. I really have built this up and to be so much, but I want to make sure you have the story because, it's funny. Boy, can you imagine what I could have done if we had all the technology? Shit, you could have added like 5 more zeros onto that check. So my dad's in the lobby and I'm in the cubicle. And yes, it was a cubicle. I mean, there was no door, talking to the man with the badge and the gun. And what we all thought was going to happen was I was going to say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." And my dad was going to give them, here you go. Here's bad girl. I didn't know. Well, that's not exactly the way it went down. The cop told me, okay, we had a phone call from blah, 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 and what I just told you. And I said, yeah, that's what I know I shouldn't have done that. And I just fessed to all of it. Okay, we done here? Okay, stand up. Okay, I need you to put your hands behind your back. I was like, what the fuck? What? I said, are you taking me to jail? He's like, yeah. Yeah, you've committed forgery. I said, it was $100. My dad's going to pay it. No, you'll have to take, oh yeah, no, their handcuffs were involved. Yes, they were. And you guys, I am 4'11" and weigh, back then I was about 90, 95 pounds. I mean, I was like Polly Pocket. I still pretty much am. I weigh a little bit more, but I mean, I don't even know that they had handcuffs. I seem to remember that the handcuffs, they could not make them small. And honest to God, okay, I don't think I need to tell you that by now the waterworks have started, and this is a DEFCON situation. And they walked me out, handcuffed behind my back, and I'm looking at my dad and I'm like, oh my God. And my dad's like, you're taking her to jail? Hold on, here's where the story gets better. Remember what I said about ATM machines? Well, not only do we not have ATM machines, which in and of itself would not have been such a problem, were it not for the fact that it was a national holiday, that being Columbus Day, a day that will live in infamy forever. Bet your sweet ass that when Columbus Day rolls around, I celebrate it for an entirely different reason than most people do. So my dad said, where are you taking her? And they told him the jail, which was, 15, 20 minutes away. And of course, my dad's like, well, how much is her bail going to be? Sir, I don't know. She's going to have to be seen by a judge or so. This is the part that I like. Obviously, I don't have any more contact talking to my dad at this point because they're putting me in a car. So I don't know how all that part went. What I do know is this. We rolled up to the jail. I was in full meltdown. I was in the back of the car. I mean, Alabama, it was like that emoji. Yes, I was very upset. There was a lot of tears involved. And here comes the best part of all of it. I go in, they fingerprint me, and back in the day, they used ink. It's none of this electronic shit. I did not just go in a holding cell. They took my clothes. They took my shoes. And they gave me those scrubby pajama looking things, some kind of nasty shoes. And all I remember is that, I mean, I could barely keep the pants on because, I mean, honestly, I'm that big. This shit is made for normal sized people, which I was not. They took me into what they call a pod with many other women in it. Like these are women who are, they're spending a little time here. They're not just passing through like me. When I tell you that, oh, well, here comes food. Well, gosh, how lucky of me. I managed to get in there right at mealtime. It must have been lunch. Oh, it was gross looking, whatever it was. And trust me, it wouldn't have mattered if it was the finest meal from the finest restaurant. I was a little upset. I didn't have an appetite. So I immediately did what every movie I'd ever seen makes you think you should do, which is start offering everything on the tray to other people. Oh, I was trying to curry favor, I guess. Like, I really thought, well, fortunately, there was a phone inside the pod. And I made several phone calls to my mother, and you had to call collect because we didn't have all the shit back in the day, all this electronic, what do they call it now, JPay? Yeah, not that I was there long enough for that, but the bail obviously got set. I never saw a judge. I do remember that. Not at that time. It wasn't like, I had to see a judge who then set a bail. I don't remember anything like that. What I remember is calling my mom and saying, when are you going to get here? I'm going to get raped. And I truly, when I tell you I've never been so scared in all my life, I mean it. So, because it was a holiday, banks are closed, no ATMs, and the bond was like, it was a few $1,000s. And I just remember my parents had some cash at the house, but not all of it. So then they had to go to my grandmother's house, and oh God, it was a whole thing. So fortunately, just a few short hours later, my daddy pulled up in his 911 Porsche and picked up his jailbird daughter. And that's the story, folks. Oh, and the end of the story, the way it all played out, because I was newly 18. I had no criminal record. I was offered, they call it a diversion program. So basically what you do is, I think it was like probation for a year. And as long as you don't get in any trouble while you're on probation, then it's a done deal and adjudication is withheld. So there you go. There's my deep, dark secret. That's it. So y'all, I've just saved you your big gotcha moment. Nobody fucking cares, including me. Alrighty. Good stuff, huh? Was it funny? Oh, I can laugh now. I promise you I was not laughing when it happened. It was not that funny when it happened. But good rule to remember, children, ignorance of the law is no excuse. And I swear to you, I was never even a kid who shoplifted something. Even when one of my best friends of all of my growing up, because I lived in the same neighborhood my entire childhood, and it was a really nice subdivision where everybody knew everybody, and it wasn't huge, and there was one way in and one way out. So it was a different time. We used to walk. We had a store, a drugstore close by, and we would walk there. And this drugstore had like a little restaurant in it, and we would walk there on the weekends, or sometimes even like at not. When I say night, I don't mean like pitch black night, but we could have 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that. And I do remember that some of my friends, they would shoplift. Like many kids, I'm sure, do. But I never did anything like that. No, I decided to go right for the white collar forgery career. No. And then I quit that job. I was like, obviously, I suck at this. But what I'm telling you, that I truly, truly believed that the worst thing that was going to happen to me was like, I was just going to have to grovel to my mom. Like, Mom, please, I need $100. Not so much. Okay. Well, so we got that done. Oh, yeah. And I put y'all, everybody on YouTube has my phone number, I'm pretty sure. But just in case you don't, I already put it in the chat. So, if you need to call me and say hi, tell me you hate me, tell me I suck, tell me you love me, whatever, call me up. Actually, I prefer text, but, if you really need to call me, 867-5309. Okay. But that is my one and only run-in with Johnny Law. But like I said, my goodness, apparently I got quite a few speeding tickets back in the day. Good Lord. I was like, what the hell? One time I got 2 in 1 week on the same road. I was taking my son to school. He was in elementary school. And I wasn't going that fast. I remember saying to my husband, I was like, if I got to get 2 speeding tickets, I want to be going like 100, not 40 in a 25. That's what I was doing. Something like that. So, okay, so there you go. There's my big, deep, dark criminal past. So, what's left? What's left to talk about? The title of this, what was it? I said Petty Betty and the Jelly Girls. Yeah. Ooh. Man, there are some real jelly girls on here. Let me tell you the mark of a very insecure, issue-riddled woman. Or actually, I'll tell you the mark of one who's not. If you cannot give another woman a compliment, including ones you don't know. I mean, I don't know much about this Dre McRae situation. I mean, I know less than everybody here, I'm sure. But I got the outline. When I saw her on the screen the other day, I mean, I stopped and looked at her and was like, wow, she is beautiful. If you are a woman who cannot give another woman a compliment, whether it's, on the way she looks or, the things she has to say, whatever the case may be, then you got issues. If you're jelly, if you need to throw in people's face, because let me tell you something. I'm sure there are people who think, I'm bougie and I talk about stuff I have. I don't. I can't help it that, I may have a bigger wardrobe than somebody else. That doesn't make me a better person. I keep saying none of this really means anything. I'm just able to do it and I like it. So sue me. I mean, it's what's here and here that matters. So if I was like Molly, Manatee Molly, who likes to, she thinks that because she's got Tom Ford lipstick, which, by the way, Molly, not for nothing, that color looks like shit on you. It's too dark. You're too pasty. So if you're really in love with that Tom Ford lipstick you were slapping all over your face, get a tan. Honey, everybody looks better tan. Didn't you know that? And you're a rich bitch. God, I have my own machine. Why don't you have yours? I mean, I'll give it to you that it is, I know it is very cold. It is miserable having, oh God, someone please, I'm begging you, please come up with a way to make the liquid that comes out of the spray tan gun warm. Please. I will put you up for a Nobel Peace Prize if you can figure this out, because I've tried everything and can't do it. I've microwaved the liquid. I've let the machine run. I've held a hair dryer to the back of the filter to hopefully, my husband's like, honey, doesn't matter what you do. It's the force of the air. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. But anyway, if I was her, well, I would feel the need to take you into my closet. I'd take you into my garage. I'd walk you around my property. I don't do that shit, and I have no intention of doing that. I don't need to do that. I lead with this. You lead with these and with this. And I will say this for her. I think of all of them, she has a far superior verbal ability. I've never accused her of sounding like English is not her first language, like Dolly Vision. I mean, for God's sake, I need flashcards when he speaks. I wish he'd color stuff. And I'm not hating on anybody who has a regional accent, because I love me a good accent. I truly do. Like Savage, I love that. I find myself, when somebody pisses me off in traffic, I'm like, you raggedy ass whore. And I just wish that I could say it like she does. So it's not a matter of an accent. No, you're a dumbass. You don't speak proper. It comes across loud and clear that you are uneducated. You're ignorant. And that is nothing to be proud of. So take some of your super chats and, I don't know, get yourself a remedial English course, because no one's going to ever take you serious in the big leagues like you seem to think you're going to get to. And I got news for you. The YouTube true criminal trauma swamp, this ain't the big leagues. It's not. I hate to break it to you. And let's just keep this all in perspective. Let's just use my other channel that has more subs than this channel. So there's 500 subs over there. He's got probably, well, I know Betty's got like 23, 24. Let's use her. Okay, so let's just say 24,000 versus 500. Well, in this nasty ghetto hood we're all hanging out in, well, yeah, obviously the disparity is like this. But let's put this in perspective in terms of the real world, where many of you people apparently don't live. Because if we do, 23,000 people in the scheme of the entire country, which, by the way, the entire country is able, if they have an internet connection, well, they're able to get on YouTube. So, does anybody know what the population of the country is, roughly, right about now? How many hundreds of millions? I'll just let that ruminate. Hundreds of millions. And you want us to think you are some kind of celebrity because you've got 20,000, 30,000, oh, hell, even 100,000. Well, I mean, you know, I am definitely not a math scholar. I think I disclosed that when I came in here. Anything past these, I got to get the calculator. Hell, I had to get my calculator to figure out when I started my white-collar criminal career 35 years ago. In case anybody needs a reminder. Yes, I've lived a criminal-free life for 35 years. Oh, yeah. So if you're that bitch that thinks because you buy Tom Ford lipstick and carry a Tom Ford bag or wear Tom Ford sunglasses, here's a better question. Can you wear a Tom Ford pencil skirt? Waiting. I can. Since that's how you want to play, I mean, you think you're better than everybody because what? Because you know Vinnie Politan? I actually like Vinnie Politan a lot. I always have. I won't hold it against him that he's your friend. Congratulations. I mean, think about this. You have people like Bullwhore Betty who sit back in a fucking pink and white plastic / Naugahyde gamer chair with a printer from close to the decade when, if I was still practicing my white collar criminal career, I could have probably printed $100 bills on, and presumes to tell the viewing audience that Ashley Banfield is not a credible news source. Well, I don't know. I like Ashley Banfield, and she's pretty cute too. She's, it's not painful to look at her like it is you. So, I don't know. It would be like me coming on here and, let me think who I could use here as an example. Oh, hell, I don't know. It'll come to me. But you get what I'm saying. So this criminal, whether it's former, well, for the sake of clarity, this former criminal with broken off hair who repeatedly butchers the English language, who gets her kicks by going to Bureau of County Commissioner meetings. My guess would be it's not because she just loves politics. No, it's because she's a little tyrant. And in her real life, nobody gives a shit about anything she has to say. But she has found, apparently, some kind of tribe. I don't want your tribe. You're welcome to them. Who seems to have nothing but a dirty looking Hard Rock hoodie. And she wants to, is there anyone you do like, Betty? That's my question. Besides Molly right now, because you two are, cooking something up. I mean, who does Betty like? Who is worthy? Hey, Prissy, how are you? Who is worthy of Betty's respect? Oh, apparently a lot of the BOCC members. God bless you. Happy Valentine's Day. God bless you. So it's not the judge in the Kohlberger case. Nope. She's just a dumbass who, I guess she didn't go to Kaiser College. Ashley Banfield, she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She is not a credible source. Well, guess what, people? Betty ain't either, in my opinion. So, yeah. Oh, Wanda. I agree. So, yeah. I can't help but think that, I don't know, I just wish one of these people, I want one of these people to explain to me what victims' right rights organization that advocates for victims? Who affiliates with them? The tragedy pimps. Oh, wait. What law enforcement? What kind? Oh my God. Betty. Betty, in my text to a friend this morning who is somebody that I stayed in touch with when I took my sabbatical. And we were joking around about one of the latest videos on Betty. And I said, wow, the thirst. Actually, I'm going to read it to you guys. I am going to read you this text message. I'm not going to paraphrase it because it was so damn good. I don't want to miss anything. So hold please while I get my text message and I'm going to read it to you. And girl, because she might be listening, I don't think she'll mind. And I'm not going to say her name. I'm sure she'll get a kick out of this. And this was in response to a video I saw this morning of Betty back in that Naga hide, ugly ass gamer chair, lecturing the chief of police in Georgia, Savannah, whatever county that was, Quentin Simmons. Yeah, boy, you better look out. Bullhorn Betty's coming to town. Now, I don't know about all you folks, but, you know, I try and make a policy of not shit talking and being a thorn in the side of someone who, I don't know, has the powers of arrest. Yeah, it just, she constantly confirms to me how dumb she really is. Okay. So here's the text I sent my friend about, say, did you see this video? I said, good morning. I loved the video on Betty this morning. I said, OMG, BHB has truly lost whatever fragmented, broken pieces of her sanity and mind are left. WTF goes after the chief of police while ranting about it and her future plans for said police chief, like an unhinged lunatic on YouTube, in my opinion. My God, the thirst is real. Could she just do us all a favor and look into self-immolation? Think of the views, Betty. Instead of lawsuits, look how well it worked out for that poor monk. And it would be a way to immortalize the life-changing, important work BHB has left behind for all of mankind. Her BHB brand would live forever. That biatch better hope that no one with a real life, real job, real life friends, etc., who thinks like her takes a serious interest in her mental health. Because from where I'm sitting, she's basically a 5149 on the 5150 tape measure, LMAO. And then there was something else totally unrelated. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And Betty, you're going to definitely have to look up self-immolation. And obviously that is all in jest. I do not want to see Betty do that. I don't. Although I don't know if it brought her views. I mean, if she had a garden hose nearby, it, might work out okay. I doubt it. I don't recommend anyone doing that. But, it is definitely a way to get all eyes on you and make a point. So, And just one thing I want to touch on before I sign off and walk around the yard a little bit to work the sciatic nerve issue. It's coming on, and Coco and I are doing the Grammys in an hour, so I gotta talk fast. But the last thing I want to say is when I was sitting here waiting to come on and listening to that foul-mouthed pig Dolly on Constance's channel, I do not know any men in my life who would ever speak to a woman the way he spoke to, I believe her name is Eileen, the woman who he ended up getting arrested over when he had his ugly, illiterate ass in front of Quentin Simmons' house, making a damn fool of himself, being an absolute menace to that entire neighborhood. Man, you are pathetic. All of you, your whole ilk. Most people have enough sense to be embarrassed over shit like that, but you don't. Y'all have no shame, no pride. They want you to think they've got pride. That's insecurity. That's what that is. Because there is no one. That flies in the face of the word pride. No one with pride would ever speak. Mike, I don't care what she is. You don't talk to a woman like that. It's disgusting. And he said to her something about better get a tetanus shot. I won't even repeat some of the absolutely filthy, foul things he was saying to her. And if you are a woman on this platform, and let's face it, I'm pretty sure 95% of this community are women. If you're a woman and you are subbed to that ignorant hillbilly dirtbag, apologies, hillbillies. Boy, I would go sit in a dark room and have a talk with myself, or your dog, or your cat, or your doll. I don't know. But that says, I think, even more about the women of his audience than it. Well, I'm not going to go quite that far, because he's the vile one. But one of the many filthy, foul, disgusting things he said to that woman, he didn't speak to that woman like she was a human being. And there's not much that I would repeat, but he did say, he called her, every filthy name in the book. And then he said something about, oh God, he is so gross. Dude, you're a lowlife. You are an absolute lowlife. You belong parking cars in front of a restaurant somewhere. Not at the country club. I can tell you that. They don't hire people like you. Take my word for it. Yeah. You belong in front of some low-level restaurant that has valet. He said something about, you better get a tetanus shot. Well, I would say you sound like you need a rabies shot. Maybe that's why you and Betty are so good together, because you're both. Water seeks its own level. And I don't know, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Mike Stevens, I'm very glad to hear that, because you and I were going to be we were going to at least have a separation. And I don't know, I might have called Betty and told her to get our divorce papers going. Yeah, sometimes, in fact, I'd say most of the time, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't know, just something to think about. I think when a whole bunch of people start crawling out of the woodwork, and I said woodwork, not fake paneling like you probably have in your house with wheels. You know, where there's smoke, there's probably fire. All right. Well, I hope you guys like story time. Oh, and my phone number's in the chat. So anybody who feels like you need to call me and, you know, tell me about myself, there it is. I already told you, hey, I'm not going to go so far as to put my address in the chat, but, you know, y'all can, I'm sure you can find it. It wouldn't be hard. Come on over. I mean, don't really. I'm joking. I'm not really going to give you, you know, beef jerky and whatever gross crap you probably drink. I like to be a gracious host, and I don't think I could be gracious to any of you. So just stay home. Don't. All right, kids. I'm going to go take a little break for about an hour, and then we're going to come and finish the Grammys. Should be good times. All right. I will see you guys soon. Thank you for joining me while I disclosed my long, vast criminal career. All right, everybody. I will see you later on. I hope everybody has a great afternoon if I don't see you in an hour. Bye.